Why, hello, friends, family, and everybody in between. Welcome to another round of Modern. My name is Dylan from Alternate Universes, and we have probably the store. If you could take two decks to represent the store to any event, or to if you were like, yeah, AU Bluebell has two decks that represent it, it is Amulet Titan and Tron. Now, you you have astute eyes, you'll notice that on the left is the Tron player, and on the right is the Amulet player. Those names are going to get switched around momentarily once I realize that. Uh, we, I sit at on what's called the other side of the 180 line. So when I'm facing them, to my left was Zach, to my right was Chris, but it's flopped for the camera perspective because it sits on an opposite end of the 180 than I do. It's a fun little rule in film. So yeah, all right. So Chris, Zach leads on a Earth Saga into an Amulet, plays a Bounce Land, plays a Dryad. Zach, damn it, Chris, there you go. It'll get fixed soon. Chris goes Tower, Mine, has an Expedition map in play. We'll be able to set up Tron. And Zach is going to pop his Urza Saga here, floating a green. I'm most likely going to go get a copy of Expedition map. Does not have any other lands in play. So a little bit of an interesting keep here. There you go. You see Chris Cherubini. Tron. Versus Chris Cherubini. Tron. Whoa. Boop. Copy and paste, baby. Yeah, this is like the battle of AU's Bluebell's decks. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I don't go to too many other stores for their modern locals. But let me tell you, I don't think there's a higher representation of these two decks than any other local in the country. We have so many Tron and Titan players who just come to the store. It's insane. I think we have any number between now this is not the people who show up every week, but out of the roster of reasonable people to show up and play on a Monday night for Modern, 15 to 20 of them could register Tron if they feel like it, and probably will. And then a similar number for Amulet Titan. There's a bunch of us who also just like the 6/6 Green Giant. Look at Zeus coming into play here. Doing its thing. Golgari Rod Farm. Making mana. Cracking the map. Zach, quite good at this deck. Has won several at RCQ now with Titan. Beseiju popping the tower. Map going to get. I believe it's an Urza's Tower is the next thing he fetches here. Goes and gets a tower. Folks, I just got back from vacation recently. So I have no food in my house because I was gone and haven't been grocery shopping. And I cannot explain to you how excited I am to go grocery shopping after I get done work. There's a second aim button play here for Zach. Gonna be attacking into the Zeus and a Dryad. He's a Titan off of being able to kill Chris, really. He's just looking for a payoff. Even Cultivator, if he has enough lands in hand, which I'm assuming he does. Assuming it's just all bounces. I see Power Plant. We've assembled Tron. If he has Karn the Great Creator, he could go 4 mana Stone Brain. Or 4 mana Karn, get Stone Brain, play Stone Brain. 1 ring. Also pretty good here, getting protection. Maybe the issue is he has Pact, but is afraid of dying to the Pact trigger. Which, if that's the case, if you have 2 amulets, you just go get Forest, Slayer, Stronghold. Ooh, Warping Well, and Yazusa. Okay. Being at Forest, Slayer, Stronghold, because the Dryad, tap the Forest once for red, tap the Forest for white, and then give haste, attack, go get 2 forests, and you pay for the Pact. It's a strange playline, but like, yeah, it wouldn't die. There's a forest here. But Zach does not like play with his hand enough. Most people on camera like shuffle their hand a lot. As if you watch the channel, I'm sure you notice. He doesn't. He's kind of puts his hand on the ground. He's like, yeah, okay, on the table, on the ground. Ulamog going to cast your Exile on the 2 amulets, and this is realistically going to be the game. I don't know what winning position Zach can have. Chris is just going to untap and attack with Ulamog and exile 20 cards on top of Zach's deck. Okay, we're doing stuff with our Arboreal Grazer that we've had for most of the game. Oh, good draw cards. Doing ring shenanery. Deck has blockers, but 20 cards at the top of the deck when you're playing a combo deck is terrifying, right? There's an O-Stone. Ignore the idea of Zach having blockers. Pop the O-Stone. Pop the Relic, then pop the O-Stone. The indestructible things will stay. We will attack in for 10. Having Zach's life total. Milling, or exiling the top 20 cards. See a Titan, 2 Titans, a Dryad. Alright, honestly not the worst hits. 2 Titans is rough, a Dryad is rough, a bunch of bounces, an Amulet. So your 3rd Amulet. Yep, alright, Zach's going to scoop it up. Game 1 going to Chris here, and we'll be right back to Game 2 when it jump cuts in like 4 seconds. Boom, would you look at Slayer Stronghold into an Expedition map for Zach here. Power Plant into a Chromatic Sphere, says go. Alright, pick up the Slayer Stronghold, play Groll Turf. We've all been there. Haywire Might, Chromatic Sphere. We'll be able to activate the Haywire Might if he cracks the Chromatic Sphere first to make a green mana. Yep. Alright, we saw Beseju. Spawn land. There's more Ixalan cards getting revealed. Folks, is Discover just a strictly better version of Cascade? I can't seem to think of why it wouldn't be. Other than that mechanic, nothing has seemed too interesting. Granted, it's a standard set. Cavern's getting reprinted, which is cool. Yeah, I don't know. I also am not the biggest fan of the Ixalan sets in general. I did not love Rivals or what was the other one? Was it just called Ixalan? Might have just been called Ixalan. Yeah, I didn't love those. The dinosaur stuff is cool. Like dinosaurs are cool. I'm not here for the vampires or merfolk or spirits, any of that stuff. Emrakul the Promised End. Stonebrain on Titan. We're removing 2 copies from Zach's hand and 2 more copies from the deck. Zach will get to draw 2 cards.
And then you draw 2 cards. Sweet. At least we got that. Draw 2? Yeah. Okay. I'm going to exile your map. Where this is, and I'll gain 2 life. Yes. I'll go to 22. Pass. Yeah.
Alright, we have a Dryad. We have 2 forests in play and a power plant. We are not doing the Tron thing. That's okay.
Yeah.
I think I've talked about it on camera before. I know I've talked about it at the store a lot.
Sure.
I feel like the old strategy of mulligan into oblivion until you get to just power plant, tower, and mine is wrong. I could be wrong, but I feel like you have such a high density of good cards now. Like actually good cards. It's not just like you're playing only medium end stuff that's small and good stuff that's big. You're playing, good mediums like CMC cards. Like Karn the Great Creator is amazing. Like amazing. The One Ring is also, I'd say, amazing. Like there's these good 4-drops and stuff now that you can just cast. I feel like there's something else in the list lately that's been pretty solid. Where is Mono Green Tron? Yes, look, you got these main deck Walking Ballistas, and then the Karn board is so good right now. The Phyrexian Metamorph out of the board is awesome. I actually like it a lot. I think it's super cool because there's some sweet stuff you could do. There's a little bit of a spoiler for Game 3. Metamorph gets cast, and it's not the greatest thing, but it's cool. We're doing Cultivator shenanigans. Zach has a ripped basic land to represent his mana floating because you can't include basics in your deck bucks. Alright, ring, protection, draw card. Zach had punched him for a bunch earlier. He's going to take a damage from the ring.
I'll take 1, go to 10. Yep. Draw card, activate. Yep. Draw 2 cards.
Ring cards being drawn.
Play Chromax here. I'm gonna float a green and draw a card. I'm gonna play a power plant, and then I'm gonna use a colorless green floating still. Play anywhere in my hand. We can talk later. Third one. I'll go to 12.
Alright, gonna Besage his Dryad here. Gonna go fetch a land from the deck. Grab the forest. Not really anything else you can get. Sometimes Titan still plays stuff like Breeding Pool, but not too common anymore. Gonna make a construct, and Chris is dead on board. Shout out to Chris for actually recognizing that. We appreciate when people don't spin their wheels thinking that they get to survive a turn that they don't get to actually survive. Salazak isn't going to just attack him, right? Alright, leads on tower into Chromatic Sphere. Forest. Amulet. Yeah, I don't get... And it's just like, a lot of Magic players seem to have this mindset that when there's lethal attackers on board, they're like, I'm going to wait. I'm going to see if my opponent attacks me. And, sure. Sometimes, I guess, your opponent just forgets, right? Or miscounts how much damage they have. Or Jedi mind tricks themselves into thinking you have interaction that... But they're still going to declare the attacks, right? Like, in the Jedi mind trick situation. Like, I can't say I haven't seen people just swing lethal. Like, I've seen people just decide to not do it. I don't quite get it. But, like, 95 out of 100 games that I've seen, they're just going to swing and kill you. Right, Zeus coming into play here. You get an additional land drop. And then another additional land drop. We get a Valakut and a Cinnamon Grove Chamber picking up the forest. So we have 5 total mana available to us. If we have a Primeval Titan in hand, we will be able to cast it next turn. Which is not a position that Chris wants to be in. There's a Sylvan Scrying here. I would jokingly say, like, I hope it's a Sylvan Scrying. But it's... At this point, I've learned the art because multiple of our Tron people use it. Like, Ryan uses that art. But also, what other one and a green spell does Tron have? Besides Besage. Alright, Crown the Great Creator here. Will down tick. Probably gets a copy of the One Ring, right? That way, in case Titan does hit the board, you have immediate protection from it. So try and buy you a turn to get to like Karn the Great Creator or something. Well, Karn 7, not the greatest card in 2023. It does do some things fairly well. And if you need an on-demand removal spell, it does that. So, it's crazy that card used to be like a game-winning card at one point in time. Power creep, man. Power creep is nuts. Play Forest, play Titan? Mm-hmm. I think I see old border green cards, and they're the only old border green cards in the deck. I'm so excited for the full art amulets. I feel like Amulet hasn't got a fun upgrade in a little while. No, Zeus just got a full art with the Secret Lair and the Commander Master's printing. So I guess I can't complain. Here's a 6-mana creature. Interestingly, not putting the forest into play. Opts for the Mycohin's Gardens instead. Goes and gets a Beseju. Oh, I see. I like you. Alright, I like where you're at, Zach. We're going to play 2 more lands this turn. That way we leave up Beseju. Okay. Alright. This is when he doesn't actually have the second land. Here's when he just has the forest. Like, okay. Doesn't matter though. He's a legendary creature. Honest to God, I forget about that so often. I forget that the channel abilities get reduced by the number of legendary creatures you have. Like, that's... that's so wild. Though, to be fair, in Titan, it doesn't come up too often. We play 1, maybe 2 copies of Azusa at any given point in time. And there's, like, some sideboard legendaries depending on what month it is. Like, sometimes we play Dramoka. The Chromatic Star, getting popped here, drawing a card. I love how Tron can almost be completely retro bordered now. This time we go and get the One Ring, right? Oh, no, we're missing Tron. We don't have it anymore. We could have just down-ticked for the ring. Alright, goes against Phyrexian Metamorph. We'll pay 2 life, go to 20. Add a floating mana, I guess. We'll copy the Primeval Titan. We'll go and fetch 2 lands from the deck. Which this is where I was like, this is pretty cool. I can go fetch Tron. However, or what you need from Tron, or extra towers to cast your Ulamog. However, Zach has a Summoner's Pact. And the likelihood that he doesn't have a land in hand is very low. But we can run through the damage, or how this works, if anyone's curious. He's going to cast this Dryad. He's going to go to combat. He's going to attack with the Primeval Titan, go and look through his deck for 2 lands. It is going to be a copy of Valak the Molten Pinnacle and a copy of Vesuva. Vesuva will enter as a copy of Valak the Molten Pinnacle, the one that was already in play. It cannot copy the land that enters with it. And then 18 damage will be directed at Chris. It'll be... yeah. It's 3 times the number of mountains entering the board. Well, that's not exactly correct, but... yeah. Alright, folks. That was a good 18, and then he plays a land and kills him. Zach will take it 2-1 with Amulet Titan. Thank you for watching. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you. Goodbye.